Hello everyone. In today's video, we are going to learn about the ONTAP networking. Okay. So before proceeding that, we would learn about the port informations. So we have a two nodes, we have a two controllers, right? And both are connected with each other in the high availability. So it is a high HA connection. Okay, and with the HA connection, keep alive signals. Keep alive signals are being sent to the partner node. Okay. So if we have a node one here, and this is node two. So node 1 will send a keep alive signal to node 2 and the node 2 will also send a keep alive signal to node 1. If partner node miss multiple keep alive signal, then it will initiate the takeover, right? So if 2 will not receive the keep alive signal from the node 1, it will wait for multiple signals. Okay, so if still node 2 will not receive, node 2 will understand that node 1 is down and it will initiate the takeover and it will take over all the storage and networking part. Okay. So this is HA connection, right? And that HA connection is built in the chassis norm, right? So that depends upon the models. Okay, so we have a NetApp controllers, and NetApp controllers we have a multiple types of the ports are there, right? So multiple types of the ports are there. We are going to talk about the Ethernet port. There will be a fiber channel port. There will be okay UTA2 port. That UTA2 port is a unified port that is by default used for the CNA, that is network, right? So how many ports are there? Let me draw here. I'm going to draw some ports for what we are going to talk, but we have so many ports are there, multiple ports are there. For that, we have a ports. First port you can see SAS ports, right? Second is FC ports. Third one is Ethernet ports, right? Fourth one is UTA2 ports, right? Fifth one is that E0M port, or we can call it a management port. Okay, we have a console ports. Okay, so these are the ports are available. Okay, some USB console port as well, right? So these are the main products ports are available on the NetApp controllers. So today we are going to talk about that data ports. Data port is basically fiber channel Ethernet ports. So I'm going to draw here E0A, E0B, E0C, and then E0D. So any port that starts from E stands for the Ethernet. Okay, so whatever port that you can see on the controller, NetApp controllers, okay, and that is naming convention starts with E. That is Ethernet, right? And the 0 belongs to motherboard. Okay, if there is a 1, so that means that port belongs to any slot, PCI slot 1. Okay, PCI slot 1 and PCI slot 2. Okay, so I can show you as well. Here's the port information I can show you. Second. Okay, so that it will be very clear to you. Allow me a moment. Just going to have a physical ports, how it looks like, how many ports are available. So okay, so you can see here some ports are there. So very left you can see here, this is the SAS port, mini SAS port, and you can see here Ethernet port, 10 gig Ethernet port, E0A and E0B. This E0A and E0B is dedicatedly used for the cluster network. Okay, and you can see E0E, E0F, GH. These four ports are the UTA2 ports. Okay, UTA2 port is basically a unified port. If you want to use this port for the that fiber channel or Ethernet, you can use it for both. Okay. Next port you can see here, 10 gig west in the Ethernet port. This is dedicated Ethernet port, right? And this is a range port. On this range port, you can configure the service processor or you can configure a management, right? This is USB and this is a console port, right? So console port is basically you can connect the controller with the console cable to your laptop, right? For that you have to be locally available. This is USB port that is also used for the some console. Right side you can see some slots. So you need some additional ports for the Ethernet or any fiber channel. So the naming convention is start as an one. So suppose you have purchased that Ethernet card, two ports. So the naming convention will be E1 A B. If you insert it here, this is slot number 2. This will be E2A and E2B. Correct? Yeah. So this is what I wanted to show you. So that today we are going to talk about Ethernet ports. Okay. Okay. So these are the ports are available. This SAS port is basically used to connect the disk shelf, right? Fiber channel is used to connect the client connection, host servers. Okay. Ethernet ports are used for the management purpose. Ethernet ports are used for the cluster network that is used for the your data network. Correct? If you have a SAN or NAS, if you have a NAS, so SIPs, SMB, and then NFS can be connected, and the data will be traveled via this Ethernet ports and network. Right? If there is SAN network and you have a ISCSI protocol, then that network that that storage will travel via that Ethernet only. UTA2 port we discussed that this is a unified port. If you want to use that port for fiber channel or ISCSI Ethernet, then you can use that. Okay, management port basically for the node management IP, cluster management IP, right? So you can use that port. Okay, console port we discussed, right? You have to have a console cable, and then we can connect to your controller. Even your controller is shut down state, right? USB also can use with any purpose. If you are going to use the USB, then you can use USB. All right. So we have a Ethernet port. So first thing that we are going to talk about the if group. Okay. First one is the if group. If GRP interface group. Okay. So interface group is basically a group of the physical ports. Okay. Physical port means we have a E0C or E0D. So let's take an example for E0C. We have one port that is E0C and we have another port that is E0D, right? So we have, and we can group it in one logical port that is a if group. Okay, so right, so we have a this port. I'm taking this E0C and E0D. This is a E0C, correct, and then E0D here. We have a two physical ports, and with the combination of the E02, E0C and E0D, we are grouping this port and we are making one one logical port, that is a A0A, and this logical port is known as a if group. Okay, this is known as a if group. Okay, so why do we use it? We use it for the read. Okay, so we have a logical port. Okay, so with the help of the two ports, we are creating one port, that is a if group. This is a logical port. Once we create that, one MAC address is also assigned virtually, right? So the naming convention for this if group is A0A. So A stands for the aggregation, all right? So if any port looks like A0A, so you can understand that this is the if group basically. Okay. So why do we use it for? Why do we use for the if group? Basically is for the redundancy. That is the first purpose. Why redundancy? Second one is the load balancing. I'll explain. Okay. Third one is the better bandwidth. So redundancy means if one we have a group of the E0C and D, and we have one interface, that is A0A. So if we have assigned any IP on this A0A, on backend E0D got failed, right? This E0C will start serving the data, will keep serving the data, right? It will keep serving the data. So there will not be any outage, there will not be any impact. Okay, so this is the redundancy. So if you have very critical data, critical application, right, then you must have that if group created on the network level, right? Load balancing means any load is coming. If you have created any IP on top of A0A, okay, and the data flow on this one, right? Traffic is going on the A0A, so it is load balance. Okay, some request will go via A0C, some load will go via E0D as well, right? The workload will be distributed, so there is a load balancing. Better bandwidth means if your one port is 10 gig, right? You have a 10 gig Ethernet port here, right? And this is also a 10 gig. So the A0A will be 20 gig, right? So this is the better way. The combination of these two ports, you are getting that speed. Some limitations are there. Some features are there means first feature is that all port must be from same node. Okay, you cannot have the different port from different nodes. Okay. Second thing is maximum 8 ports you can club in one if group. Got it? Okay. So these are the thing that you have to. And third way, it is it is advisable to have a port from different cards. Like, okay, so you are going to take two ports. So it is advisable to have one port from motherboard, another port from the card. If you have a card, then right, it is advisable. Some modes are there, right? So if you're going to create a if group, there will be single mode, multi-mode, single mode, and multi-mode, right? Second one is multi-mode. Okay. There will be multi-mode LSCP as well. All right. So in the single mode, what is happening? The traffic will go via only one port at a time. Another port will be standby. It will be down actually. The multi-mode. What is in the multi-mode? If you are going to configure that, both ports are active at the same time, right? So all these are the features that you can create a if group. This is the if group. Next thing that we can discuss here is VLAN. Okay, so what is the VLAN? VLAN is virtual LAN, right? So why do we need it? So NetApp storage has a very limited ports available, right? But NetApp storage need many client connection to connect, right? So we have a 10 ports available. You can see that in the picture. How many ports are there? But you have a 20 servers, you have a 50 server. Hypervisors are there. So how can you find the so many ports? If you want to expand that port as well physically, so maximum you can 10, 15 ports maximum, right? So to have the more client connection on the, you need to have a ports available on your storage. Okay, to expand that port, we need to have a VLAN. We can create a VLAN to expand the number of the ports. Right. So what happens here? We have a E0C, suppose we have a one port E0C. Okay. We have a E0C port, and with the help of E0C port, we can create a multiple virtual port. Right. Virtual LAN port like. Okay. So you have to check how many VLAN ID are there. So for example, I have a E0D-10, right? The 10 is a VLAN ID. So in your environment, E0C-20, two VLAN is there. So 10 is also there and 20 is also there. So you can create the VLAN on top of E0C. Okay. So you can create a VLAN, and one with the help of one port, you have a virtual port, two virtual port. That is the purpose. And then you can create a IP on top of this leaf. Okay, so on VLAN you can create a leaf. On if group you can create a leaf, and you can create a leaf on the physical port as well. Right? So this virtual LAN can be created on the physical port, and this can be created on the if group as well. So for example, we have a if group already. So we have a if group, and that if group is a A0A, correct? This A0A. So we can create a VLAN on top of if group as well. Okay. We can have a VLAN here. VLAN. VLAN name will be A0A-10 because VLAN ID is 10. Okay, 10 and 20. So two VLAN we can create on A0A, right? So we have a two VLANs. That VLAN can be created on the physical port, and the VLAN can be created on the if group as well, right? Okay, right. So guys, I would like to tell you that we have a premium partner for the NetApp training, right? If you want to explore my website, you can explore that. Okay, so I will take you to my website, that is netappguru.com. Yes, if you want a formal training for the NetApp, so you can explore my website over here. Okay, this is a home page, right? In this home page only you can find this demo video if you want to go through the demo video what we are covering. You can watch this demo video. You can get some idea. If you want to join WhatsApp group, you can join the WhatsApp group by clicking here on this WhatsApp icon, right? If you want to check the course detail, you can explore the course detail over here. Right, all these are the course that we are going to cover here in this, right? Everything we are here covering that ONTAP networking. So these are the things that we are going to cover: physical ports, if group, ONTAP, VLAN, logical interface. So theory and lab, everything that we are going to cover, right? So you can check the fee detail and batch informations over here. We normally run the batch in evening, morning, and weekends. So for more details and when the batch is starting, you can reach out to us, right? Right? You can fill your inquiry form, and that form will come reach to us, right? So if you have a time, you can explore that. Okay, guys, thank you. So here we were talking about that on-tap networking. Okay, so we have covered the if group and the VLAN here in this session, right? In this next video, I will do the lab and I will create this if group and the VLAN. In the upcoming videos, I will cover few more topics of the networking, right? So till then, stay tuned. Okay, if you like this video, if you feel that this is informative, right? This video, okay, add some value in your career, in your skill, right? So just hit the subscribe, like, and if you have any query, just comment below. I'll try to answer, right? You can join our WhatsApp group, okay, to stay updated about the NetApp trainings, right? So we used to conduct some free webinar as well, free trainings. For that, if you can join our WhatsApp. Okay. So thanks, guys. Thank you very much for watching this video. Okay. Stay tuned for next video. Thank you very much.